arrested at any moment. Speaking of the educational system in Baltimore, they had a very interesting meeting about bullying in Katy, Texas, the community in which I used to live for 8 years. Katy, Texas resident Greg Barrett he confronted the superintendent of Katy ISD over bullying issues. This is fascinating stuff. Take a look at what happened when they got together to talk about bullying.
My name is Greg Barrett. I graduated from KISD in 1983. I started in 1975 with Mr. Lance. My legal name is Greg Gay. I was bullied, unbelievably bullied. I started out and I had teachers that bullied me. I had kids that bullied me.
Jeez.
Even the coaches. I had nobody to turn to. One day at lunch, I had my head shoved in the urinal where it busted my lip. I had laid on the ground in a fetal position as the kids kicked me. I got up, I rinsed my face off, I walked out of the lunchroom, walked straight to the principal's office, and he told me, these kids will grow up someday. They won't always be like this. But yet, here I am, covered in urine from laying on the ground underneath the urinal.
Oh, jeez.
My lip was busted, and they sent me home. Well, I went home, and I got the .45 out of my father's drawer and put it in my mouth. Because at this point, I had nobody in the school system to help me. Is that the way this is going to be? Lance, you were the one that shoved my head in the urinal.
Oh, Lance is the superintendent?
Yeah, and this is
at Katy ISD?
Yeah, this is an empty room. There's a couple people in the
Wow.
audience at the school board meeting, and he is...
Wow.
They're having a discussion about bullying, and this guy steps up to the microphone, addresses the superintendent, who then at the next meeting had a little something to say about that.
So nothing happened at that meeting?
Yeah, there was just a bunch of awkward silence. You hear some mumbling, and really nothing was, at least what I was able to find, addressed it.
Pretty compelling story from a big guy.
Yeah.
Who could probably defend himself at this point, and you'd almost like him to, even though it's 35 years later. Yeah. So at the next meeting, Katy ISD Superintendent Lance Hindt responds.
And the room is full this time.
Here's what he says.
While I understand the perception, please know my reaction this past Monday night was one of shock. It wasn't one of disrespect or insensitivity. I was purely shocked.
What do you mean you were shocked?
You know, to the hometown that raised me and where I now proudly serve, I regret the negative attention that's been brought to this community in the past week.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately,
yeah,
I'll be judged by one person.
Yes.
What does that do?
And that is God, my Lord and Savior.
Oh, my gosh. What does that have to do with it?
Will judge me.
That's not the issue. The issue is not who's judging you. He didn't deny it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you're shocked? You're shocked that you did that to him? You're shocked you didn't remember you did that to him? What shocks you about the story? What a weird explanation, because he didn't explain anything. He didn't deny it. He didn't apologize for it. And that's kind of what we're looking for here, probably some closure for this poor guy, Greg Barrett, who was brutally bullied by him. Wow. Then that guy grows up to be the superintendent of Katy ISD, which I believe, is that the largest school district in Texas?